Without further ado, I'm going to get right to one of my favorite congresspeople of all time, Victoria Spartz from Indiana. And she has been part of this movement to get these 2 extra seats for some time behind the scenes and out front. She's been very verbal with it. We're going to get her take. Joining us now, Victoria Spartz, Congresswoman, Indiana. Victoria also is going to be with us live here on the Trump Bus on Monday, gracing us with her beautiful presence. Victoria, thanks for joining us today.
Good morning. Always a pleasure, John. Thank you for having me.
So, Victoria, let's get to these redistricting here. We need 5 votes in the Senate. We need 25 votes. We got 20. We need another 5. None of those 5 have committed yet. And Roderick Bray, who's the majority leader, has been able to hold his 20 together, but we're going to need 5. And then hopefully our lieutenant governor can break the tie if need be. He's going to be with us at the 9:30 hour. Tell us why this redistricting in Indiana is so critical, Victoria Spartz.
Well, I know, John, if you are aware or not, I actually used to be a state senator in Indiana, so there is a lot of my good friends in the Senate that will have to be voted, and a lot of them understand the importance of this vote, because it's not just vote for Indiana redistricting. It is, we have such a tight majority that this vote can decide who is going to be controlling the House. And control of the House will decide, will we be able to have all of the great things that President done for us and for the country to put in the law, or we'll just have drama, harassment of a president, as all happened last time, impeachment and all other lawlessness for the other side that they do to make sure that they destroy this republic. So I truly, when I talk to my senators, I truly tell them the vote you're going to take next week might decide the future of this republic. No pressure, but it might be true. That's how tight this majorities became anymore, and it's not going to change. There's going to be, control is going to be decided in very small margin, next year, and it can go either way. So I think it's very important vote. I think President done a lot of good things, and but they need to get into the law. And I think Congress now have realization more and more, including Republicans. I see that very positive movement that we have to start governing and legislating through the laws, not doing circuses and presentations. But we'll see. So that's a big vote and very important.
Couldn't these 2 seats decide potentially the outcome of who controls Congress after the midterms?
That's exactly what I said. This potential could. In this tight majority with so many things unpredicted, potentially it could be the decision maker who holds the House. So I think that's why it's very, very important vote.
Victoria, I want to get just your opinion here. We got a rally. Turning Point Action is going to come here today. I'm part of it. We got a big rally at 1:00 at the Capitol. The vote is going to string out all next week through Friday. Are you confident we can get another 5 Republican senators with your help, with all of our listeners and callers? Can we get another 5 to vote in favor of this by Friday?
Well, listen, I definitely, that, senators will have to make decisions, but I think we need to do our best, and I spend a lot of time doing that, and I'll do more to explain how important it is. I don't think, I've been in state legislature, and I think most of the time, people just don't like DC coming and harassing them. I get it. Most of the time, states just say, leave us alone. The challenge is the states really now very dependent on federal government. The states are really very connected, unfortunately, on federal government, and policies of the state depend so much on what we're doing, unfortunately, that they cannot just say, well, we just do whatever you need to do. We don't care. They need to care, and I think a lot of them do care, and we need to communicate more. I'm going to spend more time, I think, hope other people will do, to really explain to them the implications of their vote for the whole country. I think this is very tough. I took a lot of votes in my life, and it's very difficult to make a vote where you can, vote can make such a difference one way or another. This is a very tough vote for any legislator when you depend a lot on how you vote. And most of the time, votes in the state level do not have such a significant implications for the whole nations, even for the whole world. Well, this is going to be the vote that will have significant implications, potentially. It's hard to say what's going to happen in November, but that's how close a lot of things are that potentially it could change the course of the country. These are tough votes, and we have a lot of good people, so I hope they will start understanding how important it is for them to vote to support us.
Well, Victoria, I know that there's a couple of state senators that you've got very deep, very long-standing relationships with that you'll be able to have a conversation with them as you have in the past and hopefully get a couple of them over. And I understand you'll be in Indianapolis Monday. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, I'm going to visit the State House, and listen, there are a lot of good people there, and they have a different, frustrations, and I understand why. The challenge is, I think, a lot of good people here in Indiana, unfortunately, don't understand what a brutal war we're fighting in D.C. I think that's something, and I think we need to communicate maybe better sometimes. The challenges, most of the members of the Senate I served with in Indiana, I have a very good relationship. There are some new members, I don't know them very well, but the members, a lot of members, most members I serve with, and I passed a lot of good legislation. I've been in a lot of trenches with them. A lot of them are good people, and I hope they will come through from us.
You're on the John Fredericks Media Network. We're live in Indianapolis, Indiana, right outside the State House. We've got Victoria Spartz with us, Indiana 5. Used to serve in the state Senate. Now she's in Congress, obviously, in the 5th District. I know you're short on time, Victoria. I look forward to seeing you here on the Trump bus outside the Capitol live on Monday. But I got to ask you this quick question. I interviewed the new Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Olga, let's see if I can say her name right, Stephanie Nietzsche. I think I got it. And had her on for about an hour. At the time I had her on, she was pretty favorable about getting this peace deal done that President Trump had drawn up. At the time, it was a 28-page agreement, got down to 19. So I had a great segment with her. I didn't ask questions to box her in, but I felt that she was representing the Ukrainian people in their desire for peace. That's what it felt like to me. Then she goes on Newsmax and says they're rejecting all of it. What is going on here with this treaty?
Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of politics. The reality is, the war is very brutal, and we need to get people to the table. I think, President Trump spent a lot of energy trying to get both sides to the table. It's very difficult. Resolutions is not going to be pretty. Unfortunately, it's been mishandled for such a long time, but at least there's some insanity need to pause. As I said to you before, I'm not sure how the long-term resolution can happen right now. The sides would be very too much apart, but, maybe the president can do some magic, but it's very difficult. But at least we need to get them to the table. I think it's challenging to get Russia to the table right now because they're not losing the war, which they did a few years ago. But I think we need to put additional pressure and maybe help president to send, the message that there's going implications to become more serious if Putin doesn't get to the table and start negotiating. So we'll see what happens. But he's making enormous efforts to try to resolve that situation, which is very, very difficult.
All right, final thing, give us your assessment. What is the percentage chance this thing gets done by Christmas?
Oh, no, I don't believe that something could be done, but at least, there is some efforts could be, done and, just at least there is a conversations happening about that. So I think it's very difficult to resolve right now, especially, I think with Russia, because it doesn't seem like, a lot of money made on wars. A lot of people are dying, but there's also a lot of money made on all of the wars. And, and there are a lot of ambitions, and unfortunately, bad agenda happened with a lot of wars, and the people who make decisions are not the ones that their kids are dying in the trenches. You always have to remember that. Generally, that's what happens. So, you have that challenges. But I think, at least we can maybe get some things moving. We have some of my colleagues getting very frustrated. They feel we need to start with serious sanctions, that Russia start understanding the financial implications are going to be significantly if they don't negotiate with the president. And we're serious about that. That's going to be discussion on this table in the next couple of weeks. And we'll see. Hopefully Russia start understanding that the president can be nice for so long, but then he doesn't have to be nice, and he's trying to resolve the situation, but maybe we need to put additional pressure on them because they right now doesn't seem like want to negotiate much at all. Ukraine is a challenge too, but I think Russia is much bigger challenge right now.
Victoria Spartz, I want to thank you for being with us. I know you're short on time. Thank you, as always, for being here. I look forward to seeing you live on the Trump bus on Monday. So thank you very, very much